All right, man, peace. Today's conversation is going to be centered around one of the most biggest two influencers for me that I've seen this year have this conversation about the state of music, more specifically the state of hip hop, rap, whatever you want to call it. And I'm using them as an example in this conversation because it's not because I think they're the biggest influencers, even though I have much more empathy and respect for one of them that I'm going to talk about tonight. It's mainly pointing out the fact of the matter, their words triggered me to want to make a video on it and about how I usually see these clips on Instagram, on YouTube, to have the conversation about the state of music. First and foremost, we already have the understanding that things happen through generations. So just because my generation had certain music that we like doesn't mean that Gen Z is going to like the same music. Vice versa. It's always this generational divide, regardless of whatever generation you're in, and people will start having these arguments back and forth about what's good music and what's trash music and all this other stuff. But at the same time, as much as I try to be open, especially because I'm an actual artist myself, having a conversation about music nowadays, it seems so far-fetched and so weird. Because in my opinion, the thing about today's music that I could say is that sometimes they're using a lot of these socialites to basically make music. And what seems to be 15 minutes of fame starts to be 15 hours of fame. And so what I mean by that is you're giving a chance to people who would probably be seeming like there would be a one-hit wonder and then giving them a whole entire showdown about them actually rapping more than one song. So tonight we're going to have a conversation about Tommy Richman and Tyler, the Creator. Tommy Richman, known for his song Million Dollar Baby, and everybody knows who Tyler, the Creator is, especially with him starting at Odd Future, Wolfgang Kill 'Em All, and then moving on into his solo projects and becoming more of a pronounced artist. And not only that, a fashion designer. And so this was brought upon many different things that I've seen on social media, even Drake having his hand in the whole entire thing of saying music is really weird nowadays. And there's certain people who have these conversations day in and day out about how music has really changed and that there is a singularity when it comes to music. So let's check out this first clip from Tommy Richman and let's have a conversation. So Pete.
For. I feel like it's in a real interesting place. And I feel like people's attention spans and people's just value to art is gone. It's gone. And I'm letting you know fucking right now. I feel like now is the time for people coming up to bring the art back.
Let's go.
Bring the art back.
Let's go.
I feel like the art is dying. The art of building out a world is dying. I feel like Tyler, the Creator, is the only one doing that shit. He's the only one doing that shit. The only one. People getting too lazy. Too fucking lazy, man. Too lazy, bro. All I gotta say is believe in yourself. Try to be something that is not coming out today. Like, everybody doing the same fucking shit, bro. Everybody doing the same shit, and it's dying. Music is dying, and we're here to fucking bring it back. I mean, music isn't dying per se, but like the art of it. The art of it, you know?
Hey, yo, go off on your rant, man. Let's go.
Thank y'all so fucking much, man. Have a good night, man. Appreciate y'all.
So that was Tommy Richman's take on what he thinks about the art of music, in which, in my opinion, there is a large part of me that agrees with that statement. I think the problem that happened in the music industry is not the artists themselves, it's the music industry. Because now they squander about trying to figure out what route they want to take for promoting artists. They're realizing a lot of these artists don't need a label to get signed. It's the fact of the matter, they just need enough buzz. And it's because of the fact of the matter that TikTok, more per se, or, apps like TikTok is the new radio station for these artists. So it's contingent upon a lot of people who are artists to hope that their song gets spins on someone's reel or someone's TikTok video in order for them to get the plays that they need to become notable and to be out there for the industry to notice or the world to notice. at the end of the day, having this conversation about music on an artist level, in which Tyler the Creator is going to be talking about, this is going to be more of a conversation about him having this dialogue about how when it comes to music, a lot of people is just seeing the money first and they're seeing the art second. Whereas you have ones that really care, such as myself, and the classic saying, I'm sensitive about my shit, where we understand what music does, the frequency in it, what does it entail, the artistry, building your sound as an artist and doing these different things to be more pronounced as an artist. And it seems as if, in my opinion, that the music industry of today has forgotten all about that. Yes, in my opinion, you do see a lot of rappers that do sound the same or try to sound like the same person, or you see a lot of artists and singers that sound the same or have the same type of tone and voices. Whereas back in the day, of course, you could tell the difference between certain singers and all this other stuff, all singers. And even when it came to rap here in the United States, you was able to tell where someone was from based on how they rap and what type of beats was made for them to rap on. It's a different type of conversation. Let's check this Tyler the Creator video out. Pete, fair use.
And it's normal, and everyone thinks this shit is cute. It's like, we don't know each other. But then I get called an ungrateful asshole because I'm like, yo, I give you the art, I give you the music, high five. Why are y'all niggas showing up to doorsteps? Why are y'all niggas fucking hacking this? Why are y'all following niggas' moms home because you like a song? You like a song, but you being weird? And it's not even just for me musically. It's for a fucking basketball player, soccer, actress. But we're fans. So because you like a song or because you like a movie, that gives you the permission to be a fucking weirdo.
And of course not. The whole stalkering thing that people become obsessed with people because of the status that they have. If they were just regular everyday people, they wouldn't give a shit about trying to follow them around, figure out what they do, what their routines is and stuff like that. Even paparazzi seem annoying to a lot of the fault. Taking pictures of random people probably in their bra and panties or in their drawers taking garbage out makes no fucking sense. But at the same time, you also have stalkers, even here online, people who become very obsessed with personality figures for no apparent reason at all, but because they want to ruin their life. The whole entire thing of people who try to do this online or try to do these different things because they're obsessed with people shows exactly what their characteristics are. The obsessive nature in the society is crazy.
But we're no. Calm your fucking ass down.
Listen to the song.
Listen to the song or watch the whatever. High five, say cool, what's up, maybe a photo. But y'all niggas in y'all spare time, y'all hobby is being weird stalker niggas. Bro, you will get shot.
But that part is what gets exhausting.
Yeah, but I love making music.
But making music leads to that. You can't disconnect the two, right?
Well, you say you can't disconnect the two.
But the thing about it is a byproduct. That's exactly what it is. You work hard on your craft, you become noticed internationally or around your neighborhood or around the world, however you want to call it. And the byproduct of that is because you're known for that, more people attach on to you because now they want to know who's the person behind the music. Or you have the same personality when you was on an interview or you're speaking to different people, or are you different? People want to know these different things. The more you become famous or the more you become known. Even taking here on YouTube, how many personalities have come and go and people really want to know about them to the point that either they got doxxed or the fact of the matter that people were trying to catch up with them when they were just walking down the street minding their business.
And someone's probably gonna watch this and cut this off and this whole convo is gonna lose context. And what's gonna also happen is me talking about my favorite DJ Quick album won't be posted as much as saying fans are weird. And then someone's gonna say, every time we see this nigga, he always complaining. When I could spend this whole interview like, I love my mom, I love Sade, I love music, but that's not what they're gonna
Options
post.
Was such a great album.
That's not what they're
I'm
gonna
about to listen to that shit when I get in the car.
It's a great album. So that also sucks, like, people taking what you say because they want clicks or engagement because they get ad money for engagement and like they got a mortgage to pay. And then two, other people be like,
well, let's pause there. Certain things that remind me of when he just said that reminds me of having this conversation about negativity gaining more attention than positivity. The fact of the matter that people would be rather attracted to someone always complaining and saying something negative than they would be engaged with hearing somebody saying something inspirational or saying something that's very positive for the world to hear and see. Just check it out. You see it every day.
Well, you signed up for this. No, nigga. No. I like making music. I'm cute, tall, have a great personality, a little annoying, but it's mad chill and a great sense of style that's been influencing the shit for a while. But whatever, right? Put that out in the world. My first album came out in 2009. I got signed into 2010. May 2011, my first thing came out. 2011 social landscape is so different from now. It wasn't iPhones everywhere. It wasn't people being thirsty for whatever they get from the internet. It was a different time. So walking around and living and meeting people and enjoying stuff was much different up until 2016. When our phone became a thing, which, dude, technology has sped up so much, I don't even think the human brain is able to really comprehend what's going on. Used to being able to be contacted 24/7, a big switch happened. In 2024 now, with filming, with this and that, with voice recording, all of that, that's something I'm not used to.
Yes.
That's something I don't think any of us is used to. And when I signed up for this stuff, that not only wasn't the landscape, our brain wasn't even
knowing that was coming.
So,
Well, nobody was. And I mean, especially growing up in a certain era, you start to understand that our era was pretty gone when we started to become adults, because nothing mattered more when you was a kid or when you was a grown adult, knowing that socializing required you to actually socialize with people and not look down at your phone. And the fact of the matter is that instead of giving out phone numbers, now you're asking people for their Instagrams or an asking if they're on TikTok instead of giving someone personally your phone number. Things had to start to become weirder because more than likely, if you're in a social gathering or you go to different places, more than likely you're going to catch people on their phones and interacting with each other, even online.
people are still adjusting. I'm adjusting to like, damn, everyone could see everything. You could just look up someone's address and motherfuckers is like, damn, I could know what my favorite artist is eating for breakfast and not feel weird about it because every fucking page, whether it's academic, shade room, or whoever the fuck is posting it. Now the conversation of music, of art, is gone because when artists put something out, the last thing they talk about is music. So you know what that does to a fan listening to music? If they see the person that made the music not give any like value to it, you think they gonna give a fuck about the album? They gonna listen to it for an hour and be like mid. Mid, not even in mid, they don't even use the word right. That just means it's like average. They just don't like it, so they...
And that's also caused by the short attention span that society is starting to have with a lot of people. The fact of the matter is, when you look at someone like Tyler, the Creator, they won't understand how much he puts into his music and how much he really cares for the craft. They'll care about if he had an argument with someone on Twitter or X. They'll care about Tyler, the Creator, saying some outlandish shit about another celebrity and all these different things. And I'm not just talking about Tyler, the Creator. He's an example. The problem is that music starts to become erased and it starts to become a byproduct of the artists themselves. So the artist starts to become known for everything else than their music lasts. Basketball players can be the same difference. And the whole entire thing is not necessarily saying that I'm blaming on it, but socialites kind of had a hand in this, where people could get famous for no fucking reason and bullshit. And the fact of the matter is, everybody wants to know about what that person is doing, who they're hanging out with, who they're fucking, who they're seeing, where they went to, what store they got, what's their diet, and all these different things. And it becomes a conversation about everything else, but not the conversation of what they're actually known for as an artist, a basketball player, athletes, whatever have you. That's the problem.
But that's just their word. And because you didn't even give value to it, people can't even articulate what they dislike about it. They just say mid and move on. They don't go into detail about what they didn't like about the beat or the lyrics or this and that. I get mocked because I'm like, track 4, 2000, this album came out. I'm a musician. What the fuck else do you think I'm supposed to talk about, you dumb fuck? About who I shot, who I got beef with, about who I fucked? That should be 90% of my conversation. No, I make music. I'm a music nerd and a musician. I care about this shit. So when y'all niggas see me on TV and I'm talking about music, the shit you know me for, what the fuck?
And is your frustration with them because you care about this art form so
Dude, I
much?
love this art form so much, bro. And there's so many niggas out right now that aren't musicians that are getting treated like musicians because they make meme records or whatever. And I'm like, bro, it's niggas out here that's really special, really aliens, really talented, really putting in the work. And y'all niggas giving this dip fuck who, these niggas publicly will be like, I don't give a fuck about music, I just do this shit for money. Like,
I agree with you.
like, get your bag, I love that. But like, when every publication is like, hell yeah, let's put that out, man, a 15-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 20-year-old gonna see that and be like, man, shit, I don't really care about this shit too. This is a quick bag. Now you taking up space for niggas like me.
And it's the follow the herd mentality, because the thing getting about it again is I don't necessarily blame the artists. I blame the music industry because they provide the direction for how the music is going to go. So yes, you get a lot of these meme record artists that make these shitty, cheesy ass songs, and all of a sudden they get famous and they get recognition, where there's other artists that care about, well, how do I sample this beat? Or how do I do my beat like this? Or how do I make the arrangement so that my song sounds like this or sounds like that? The problem is that when that technology started to become more advanced, and it's going to become worse, because you're going to start to have the advancement of AI that could just make tracks out of thin air, so they can create an artist in 5 seconds and even write the lyrics for them with ChatGPT or something crazy of the sort, and they can get famous off of that. And the fact of the matter is, they can make these songs to the level that someone of this era might like it because it's short and to the point. They won't recognize the artistry. They'll just recognize the different synths, the verses, or the chorus more than likely than actually recognizing the song. It's actually pretty crazy, because some of these records that come out, you know for sure that when it comes to these records, you're paying more attention to the chorus than you're paying attention to the verse. No one really cares about the records anymore to really pay attention to the whole entire song, because we starting to have short attention spans. And the problem with these artists that come out now, and it's not about me hating on the new generation or the young generation and stuff like that. It's just the fact of the matter that when they see that money can get made off of doing the most simplest things and repeating a chant and repeating a mantra on a song, they have no problem putting themselves out there and understanding that they can live the high life, but at the same time get fucked by the industry, because the fact of the matter is they'll pull in the 360 deals or pull in these deals where they don't read the contracts, they don't read what they're signing. And these labels know that, and they will sit here and have the artists get into debt knowing that they're going to be a one-hit wonder and still have to pay massive amounts of debt off of an album that they're supposed to produce but never did, and it flops the first week because they have no direction with their album, because they're meant to be one-hit wonders.
Really want to be
for people who really care about this art form, and like, I don't like that.
But do you get satisfaction?
And these niggas can't perform.
Nobody can.
All these niggas dress alike. Man, you go to 2003. Jay didn't sound like T.I., who didn't sound like 50. Pharrell didn't sound like Dre, who ain't sound like fucking Quick, who ain't sound like Ye or Just Blaze or Alchemist. Eminem didn't sound like fucking Jill Scott. Jill Scott wasn't trying to sound like Julian from the fucking Strokes. Everyone was them fucking selves. Now, like, everyone is doing cosplay. It's a Spider-Man meme of like the next nigga. Everyone uses the same slang. Nigga, you are from LA and you saying slime?
Yeah, exactly.
We don't say that. It's crazy how the internet has made everything so like homogenous, like nothing is its own thing no more. And I think in like 3 years, like either everyone's just gonna be the same color or it's gonna pop and the next generation is just gonna go so left and wanna be themselves that it's gonna be like.
Well, what comes under pressure comes anything, I guess. When we're talking this conversation about what probably can happen in the next few years, yeah, the stagnancy of the music culture is going to become so bothersome. These artists are going to be forced to be different. because they have an understanding that that person sounds just like me or that person sounds like that person. So my music is not really relevant like that because I sound like the same person who rapped on a different beat but has the same voice or the same cadence. That's the problem with this music industry. Also, the factor of like how these artists out here are really thinking that they can do gimmicks in order to get somewhere and not even understanding it's a fad. Just like they had that guy from New York, I forgot the name of that rapper, that young rapper that used to do the song Panda. Now, the thing about it is he had full on potential to make an artistry for himself and become a well established artist. But only being known for the record Panda and the fact of the matter that you sound like Future, big problem. And then when things didn't go his way and he wasn't really getting the plays that he was supposed to get, a flopped album attempt and all these different things, as a New York artist, he tried to go to Hot 97, which is a radio station here in New York City, and he tried to ask why he's not getting plays as a New York artist because you suck and you have a sucky management team that's behind you. And the fact of the matter is, everybody is sitting up there saying he sounds like Future. He doesn't sound like da 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 da. And the only thing that might have saved him, that made him seem a little bit different, is the fact of the matter that he used to do a lot of ad libs on songs. So that therefore they wanted other artists wanted him to be on their songs to do the ad libs. But otherwise not. If he didn't get anywhere with doing that as a gimmick, everybody would have been like, this sounds like a Future song. Who is this guy? So the thing about it is that I say to these artists is if you want to be taken seriously, stop trying to ride the wave. The problem is a lot of people have to understand being the same gets you nowhere. I'm not a hater of the new music that's out here. It's just the fact of the matter, I have a very much big misunderstanding because the fact of the matter is there is people who start to sound the same and repetitive. And they can't make a lane for themselves because they think, hey, you know what? If I go to my friend's crib and I go to his mini studio that's in a closet and we play with these different audio interfaces and all this other stuff, we about to make a big hit and we're going to send it up on TikTok and have people dance to it. But did you want to be an artist in the first place? Yes or no? If you didn't want to be an artist, then you are aware that you could probably just be a one-hit wonder and you're not going to get rich as much as you think you're going to get rich off of that music that you're making. That's a conversation people need to have with themselves.
But that also comes with hip hop getting so big too. The flip side of that is like, is part of that good too because this shit just got so big that so many people can come in and make money?
It's some kid right now, it's a white kid, regular like Caucasian man, and he's like mocking Future and Gucci Mane like rap music. And like people are like, this shit hard. It's not even like satire. It's like, I'm just joking, I'm just mocking it. But I'm like, no, you can't do. And I hold rap music so close to my heart.
But then I also find it disrespectful that, you have people out there that are say, like, I remember seeing this next chick from the Bronx. And as much as I think that this girl's music is a little bit off some, I still give her credit because she technically does have her own sound. Now, of course, you've heard on my page talk about someone like Ice Spice. Now they always talk about Ice Spice. Ice Spice had sat up there and picked up something like Ozempic. And that's the reason why she lost weight. That's here nor there. You have this next artist that comes on the scene that has kind of curly hair like her, probably from the Bronx as well. And everybody's talking about how she's a new Ice Spice. So how disrespectful is that to her as an artist if she's taking rap seriously, even if she's rapping about bullshit and like rapping like a thought, that everybody's paying attention to the fact of the matter that she's the next Ice Spice based on her looks and no one's taking her seriously as an artist about what she can bring to the table that's different from Ice Spice. See, the problem is you have to blame certain people that's putting you on when it comes to social media, because if they have to compare you to the next artist or the last artist, that's not giving you shine to grow. That's only putting you in a box to make it seem like you're just like them, which means it's the singularity conversation. And that is bad for your marketing strategy. Just saying.
Heart, because this shit changed my life and everyone's life around me, and I'm a nerd about this shit. This is like weird, and I'm looking at it, and something about it like don't even sit well with me in comparison to someone like a Mac Miller or Eminem who it didn't seem like they was mocking it. They had a genuine love for it, and they were still just being,
For sure.
you know, aside from when Eminem was wearing do-rags in like 2006. Also, I seen this show called, I think, Painkillers on Netflix. Has anyone seen that show?
Yeah.
Really good show. And it's about like how people got addicted to opioids in like the 90s or whatever. And I saw that show, and Eminem put out this album called Recovery. It's 2010. I was a big Eminem fan, and when that album came out, I fucking hated it. Hated it. Publicly was like, this shit is whack. Didn't like it. And after watching that show, dude, I felt so bad.
Because the album made
about,
sense?
I felt so bad about those tweets and things like that, because thinking from his perspective, someone like me publicly saying that stuff and him getting off drugs and being clean and getting to a point in his life that's behind him, and me implying like, you need to, no, this shit is what, he probably felt like I was attacking him. I thought I was just like, I don't like the music. He was in a different part of his life and probably felt like I was attacking him. And now I feel so bad about saying that stuff because my perspective was so limited. And I love him. That dude taught me how to rap. I learned how to put words together in rhythm because of some of the Eminem stuff I was hearing and storytelling and things like that. So after watching that show, that gave me perspective, and I felt terrible. This is a few months ago. I felt so terrible about some of the things I said about that Recovery album, because I realized that was a big step and meant a lot to him. And my fucking young, stupid ass was like, ugh, I want to hear the same song and dance, and I love the Eminem show, but like, he's not there anymore. I felt terrible. And if I ever see him, like, I want to tell him that, like, in person.
And when you
And that's all I wanted to comment on in the video. Getting to the point of talking about where Tyler stood with Eminem, it reminds me of how it comes to anything you do in life, you need growth. Of course, you're not going to sound the same to how you sounded 10 years ago or how you sounded 5 years ago. Even with me being on YouTube talking to you guys, I probably won't make the same content probably in the future because I'm going to move on and give you something different than how I started. So with anything that comes with artistry, of course, it's about growth. You don't want to be in the same position. You don't want to make the same music. You don't want to do the same things. It's about showing a different path of where you are with the art that you've been governed with from the Most High. So in having this conversation about singularity of music, my idea about the music industry today is the fact of the matter is there's not enough artists that's honestly out here trying to create a path that's different. I'm not saying that they're not doing it at all, but it's just the factor of matter that music industry is not caring enough to do proper artist development. And because they have an understanding that a lot of people have a microwave brain mentality, that they have things that they have a short attention span, they want to give somebody music that's basically a quick and go, not to actually delve in and understand a song or actually enjoy the song. And I'm not saying that music nowadays is completely trash, because there's definitely records out there that I actually do enjoy. But the music industry, in my opinion, about where they're moving and how they're taking these artists, it's not a lot that's going to be found. And especially because they can't really rely on the artists coming to them. You have a lot of artists that's doing a lot of independent records or doing independent marketing where they don't need a manager. That's where we're at with the music industry. And plus, besides that, is a problem with music singularity is that you have a lot of these people who are not meant to be artists in the first place. Sounds harsh to say that because usually I'm the type to say, if you feel it, then do it. But at the same time, you have a lot of these rappers or singers that's coming out of doing comedy or doing these different things that never was them in the first place. And then they take it as seriously as a music career when that's not their lane. Certain people fit for certain things. Other people fit for other things. It's about having an understanding certain things is just not for you. But because of the music industry, like I said, they allow for a lot of this stuff to happen. And because they just want the next pop star or the next wave of artists so that they can get their money back. That's the reason they allow for a lot of this stupid stuff to happen. But otherwise than that, tell me what you think. Give me your thoughts in the comment section. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Peace.